Hi there, welcome back to Hoopsa. Let's chat about Millwall ahead of QPR's visit to the Den on Boxing Day. It's worth quickly noting that this is a pre-recorded video ahead of QPR's tie against Southampton at home on Saturday, and of course ahead of Millwall's visit to Stoke City on Saturday. So everything in this video is accurate up until that point. So, the season so far. Been a bit of a tricky one for Millwall, to be honest. At the time of recording, they're currently sitting 20th in the Championship table with 5 wins, 7 draws and 10 losses. A win at Stoke City and of course results going for them could see them rise up to 19th, but a loss and results going against them could potentially see them drop into the relegation zone for the first time this season. A win at Stoke could be a pretty big ask as well. They of course have just brought in Schumacher as their new manager and could have a bounce there, and Millwall haven't picked up 3 points in the last 6 Championship games. In fact, they've won just once under their new manager Joe Edwards, a 4-0 win away at Sheffield Wednesday in his second match in charge. Now, results had been pretty average under Gary Rowett this season, who departed by mutual consent in October. They'd picked up 4 wins, 3 draws and 4 losses at that point. And while that's not awful, I suppose the owners had got to a stage where they thought it was time for a change. Rowett had been pretty consistent in his time in charge of the club. They finished in the top half of the Championship table in all 4 seasons in charge, but I guess the feeling from the owners was that he'd hit a bit of a ceiling because they've never been quite able to hit the playoffs. Though with one of the lowest wage bills in the Championship, this shouldn't come as too big a surprise. Rowett of course has been succeeded by England under-20s manager Joe Edwards, who was appointed on the 6th of November. Seemingly a continuation of a Championship trend this season to shift away from known entities and towards young and upcoming coaches. But it's not gone quite as swimmingly as that decision has for other clubs. As I said, Edwards has picked up just 1 win in his 7 matches in charge so far, a run worse than anything Rowett put together this season, and overall it's extended their run to just 1 win in 12 matches. They have faced Southampton, Ipswich and Sunderland in that run of 7, and it seemed that his introduction, at least initially, did cause some upheaval to the side, because after that 4-0 win away at Wednesday, they conceded 3 twice in a row to both Coventry and Ipswich. In recent matches, despite not picking up a win, Edwards has managed to tighten up that defence again, with 1 goal conceded in each of their last 3 appearances. The issue, like with many clubs, is that they seem to be lacking that killer touch up front. Sheffield Wednesday aside, they've not scored more than 1 in their previous 6 matches. Their top scorer is summer arrival Kevin Nisbet, who's got 5 goals in 20 appearances, with Zian Fleming just behind on 4 goals. Last season's top scorer Tom Bradshaw, who managed 17 in the league last season, has only bagged 2 in 21 so far. Now, of course, last weekend they drew 1-1 at home to Huddersfield Town, a match that they largely dominated the efforts in and led 1-0 from the 57th minute until Huddersfield got a very late penalty which they scored in the 97th minute. It was a game that saw Edwards implement a few changes to the tactics of the side, seemingly in an attempt to bring goals back to the team. He set up with a back 3 for the first time, which allowed room in the team for Zian Fleming to sit behind the 2 strikers. Despite the late Huddersfield goal, it sounds like a system that is going to stick around, and I imagine will be how Millwall set up against QPR on Tuesday night. Starting with the Stoke result over the weekend, Millwall do have a decent run now to start to change their fortunes, with Norwich and Bristol to follow after QPR. They will be looking at QPR as a must-win match. Over the last 5 games, they have the poorest form of the bottom 5 teams in the Championship, and with Rangers, Wednesday and Huddersfield all picking up points recently, they could find themselves drawn down into that relegation battle. Now, my prediction: Boxing Day results can be really hard to pick. They can often be pretty weird outcomes. QPR haven't actually won on Boxing Day since December 2018, which was a 3-0 home win against Ipswich. And as I say, I'm recording this before QPR face Southampton, a match I've predicted us to draw, so I'm going in a little bit blind here. Now, the goals have dried up a little bit for QPR against Plymouth on Wednesday. I thought we looked quite tired and sort of missing that creativity again. Hopefully something that will be resolved against Southampton. We did win 2-0 at the Den last time we faced Millwall there in September 2022, but in recent years these have tended to be quite tight games between both of us. Our defence has been pretty good under Marty, so I can't see us conceding too many, but in a way I'm sort of struggling to see us scoring goals again, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 ball draw. Do let me know your own predictions and thoughts in the comments, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and fingers crossed we can pick up 3 points to help lift us to safety. Come on, you Oz.